I see that you've been having some very deep, interesting experiences in silence. So some of you, I saw, did write a few things. There are two questions that will be very interesting over here. One, what did I discover about myself in silence? So that's the first question. So before I give you the second question, can you just write a few things down? What did I discover about myself in silence? To make it very interesting, I don't want you to do too much of thinking. So I want you to take a blank sheet of paper, completely new sheet of paper, and I'd like you to do something called spiral writing. So spiral writing will be in circles. You will start in the center of the page with like this. Keep turning a page, right? And you continue till you reach the top. Automatic writing, what did you discover of yourself? I discovered about myself. All those feelings, those thoughts, those experiences that you had, just keep writing in a circle. It's an automatic writing. You don't think too much. Whatever comes to your mind, don't think too much. Yeah? You need a pen. So whatever comes to your mind, you're not thinking. So the aspect why we do automatic writing and spiral writing is so that you just keep writing and you keep turning the page as you write. Whatever flows into your mind, anything that comes, you just write. You don't have to be right, wrong, nothing. Whatever flows in, just put it down on a piece of paper. Whatever words come to your mind, just keep it. This is what I discovered about myself in silence. And just keep writing. Keep writing. So it will help that you keep turning the book as you write. So you don't have to turn the pen, but you can keep turning the book, and then you'll get the spiral writing on it, so that you can at least read it later on. Write about your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences, your qualities that you felt in silence. You might have experienced something about what you're supposed to do, your purpose. Okay, so from whatever you've written there, see if you can highlight 3 words that stand out for you. 3 words that are very meaningful to you, that you feel are important for you. 3 words or 3 aspects of whatever you've written are very critical for you. All right, did you get those? Good. Somebody wants to share some of those 3 words that came out for you? Yes, please.
There was no time sense.
So you lost all sense of time. So there was no pressure of time. Okay, good.
No past, no present, no future.
No past, no present, no future. Beautiful. I mean, it's great to have no present as well. That's nice. And what? That's it?
And no space.
You're beyond space as well. So the place where you are also not aware of where you are.
Only I was picking up the color, putting there.
Beautiful. Lovely. Nice.
That was also effortless.
Effortless. Nice experiences. Yes, please.
I felt like empowerment.
Empowerment. Motivation.
And focus.
And focus. Wow. Empowerment, motivation, focus. Yes, please.
I'm strong.
I am strong.
Peaceful soul.
I'm peaceful soul.
And happy soul.
and happy soul.
Courageous.
And courageous. Wow. It's a lot of good stuff that have come out. There was one here, and I'll come there. Sorry, who was?
I can.
Yes, please.
I thought that I believe in myself. I have no time for regret, no time for fear, no time for worry. And and this is the first aspect. And second one, I thought that, I know I respect myself like anything. And the third one is I care and share.
So he cares and shares, he respects himself, and there are no regrets at all with whatever he has come so far. And he believes himself greatly. Well done. Yes. Clarity is come. Okay.
One thing I noticed that flames are shaping in
Sorry?
flame are shaping in flames.
Blame. Sorry. Yeah. Can you use the mic?
The blames are taking shape of thanks. Like whomever I used to blame, so those things I should go and thank them.
How nice. So the blames are taking the shape of thanks. So changing blaming into gratitude. So nice. And that happened in the silent space whilst you were doing this. Beautiful. Okay. Anybody else? You can pass the mic to the brother back and here. Yes.
Gradually shifting towards higher consciousness.
Okay.
Waking up the sleeping leader inside me. Creating a better world.
Better role. Wow.
Good amount of energy,
Okay.
thoughtless state,
Wow.
then fearlessness.
Wow. Wow. Very nice. Very nice. Each of these words are like gems, you know. All these words you're sharing, everybody is very nice.
Enlightenment, belief with the purpose to serve humanity and mankind.
Wow. Wow. So clarity of purpose comes as well. This brother here would like to share something, and then one brother at the back.
I selected a few words. Started, understood, interested, got better and better, finally the best.
Finally?
The best.
The best. Wow. Wow. So from the start to getting better to the best.
Yep.
Fantastic.
I noticed that I wrote strong in my core values and consistency in thoughts.
Wow. Strong in consistency in thoughts.
Strong in the basic values.
In the basic values. Very nice.
I have written, I am a spiritual being and I am a self-disciplined person. I understand people. I understand why they behave in the way they behave.
Wow. Wonderful. So there's more empathy then. Lots of empathy comes. Why do people behave the way? Very nice.
I'm feeling very thankful, controlled and kind.
Kind. Beautiful.
Accept truth, lead a life which is deliberatable with innate qualities, full of energy with love, peace.
Beautiful. So a lot of purpose of your life also comes. Very nice.
I am with the purpose. I am there with the purpose to create happiness for inhuman beings.
Wow. Lovely.
The first point is no overthinking. Second, accept for who I am and also others. The third is if I can fix myself, I can fix the world.
Lovely. Brother at the back.
Initially, I was aware of all the thoughts, whatever the thoughts, and slowly, like, I could accept it and I could forgive the people. The most haunting thought, which was most haunting, that I could let go of.
Wow.
Positive thought, peace and confidence.
Wow. Okay.
The three words that I have written, one is fearless, truthful and dependable.
live life as honestly and as truthfully as I can.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for those sharing. Thank you for being so candid and open about those learning that you've had. Sorry, does somebody want to share here as well, sister? Yeah, one brother, one last here in front. Yes, please.
I realized that being powerful or being fearless was just a part of me, and it was just my state of being, and I didn't have to put in efforts to pretend to be or try to be something that I want to be. It's just me, and I'm already what I am. So it helped me let go a lot of this sort of frustration I had, wanting to be something I'm not. I've been able to let go of that, and that's wonderful.
Fantastic, lovely. Okay, thank you. I feel that's where we can stop in terms of your experiences, in terms of sharing, because there's a very highlight that's been brought up there. Everything that we experienced was already there. So I am courageous, fearless, and want to give happiness to everybody. There's this instinct for us to forgive others, for being grateful rather than blaming. So a lot of this beauty that is there is already there. And so what did silence do to you?
Immerses the quality for yourself.
Correct. You see the pond, which is always with ripples and too many things happening on the top of the surface of this pond, it's not easy for you to see inside. What is down? Because always something is happening at the surface of it. But when you, okay, let's kind of make the surface a little still. When you make it still, and then there's, wow, I can see so much. There's such beauty there, which I was probably looking everywhere else, and I was giving reasons why I don't know why this should be there. But then through silence, you got all your answers. It's there already. We didn't have to go and do anything new, anything separate. We didn't have to add any extra knowledge to us, nothing. We just went into silence. A little bit of guidance earlier. And then whilst I was doing what I was doing, I was able to experience all those wonderful things. What happens is, because you want to have a beautiful image created in front of you, right? We have a nice mandala. We all like to do some artistic stuff there. We want to make it nice and beautiful. If you want to create a beautiful picture outside, where does that start? You actually cleared the mind and created a beautiful space here. All the beauty starts coming inside here, and that's projected out there. And so that's a very unconscious, automatic way of what you actually did. You want to create a pleasing picture there, you created automatically a pleasing picture here. And so if you go with that same intention every time, I think it's very easy for us to have the best inside here. It's nothing that we have to learn, I feel. It's just an awareness that I have to keep. And so when you walked from down to the top, you were in movement, you were moving from one place to another place, you just had to stay aware. So there are two awarenesses that we can shift on a daily basis. We can be sometimes on this awareness which you are right now, your awareness of the core, your awareness of yourself, right? That's the awareness that you have. If you're not having this awareness, what is happening then? There is chaos, but why? What is the awareness moving away from? It moves away from you, who you are, to external factor. So here is this awareness that you normally have. That's the original, the real, the eternal. So what you experienced in silence was the core of yourself, which is the eternal self, the being. Remember, we heard from the morning, you have the being, you have the doing. And so you moved away from the doing, you moved away from time, from space, from the past and the future, nothing about that. But you were just in this experience of the being, of who am I? I'm peaceful, I'm loving, I'm courageous, I'm happy, this is my purpose, I want to give, I want to forgive, I want to love, I want to be compassionate. All of those things, that is the core. That is every human being's core, not just you or somebody else. It's the core of every human being. And all you got to do is just become aware of that core, and you start feeling it, and you start then expressing it. And so that's where you are, and that's who you truly are. But sometimes I could step out of that and step into another entity another identity of the self, which is to do with the words you use, the my this, my that, what are those things?
Titles.
Yeah, my title, my designation, what else?
Body.
My body, then my car and my bike and my mobile phone and my iPad and my house.
Property.
My property. My son and daughter. So you step into another space which is acquired. It's not the core. The important stuff. I'm not saying it's not important. Doesn't mean you don't, put energy into looking after your, children and your families and looking after your phones and looking after your cars. You've got to take care of those things. You've got to use them for the purpose that they are. But then if you start identifying yourself with that, if that's becoming the person who you are, then it takes 1 second from you to shift from where you're right now into confusion, chaos, problems, and questioning why this and why not that. And then it instills a lot of unnecessary stress and anxiety and everything that we don't want to experience, we will start experiencing the moment we switch into that particular identity. So that is the acquired, right? That's the acquired identity. It's deceptive. It's deceptive. Why is it deceptive? Because it's temporary. It's not who you are. It's not how you were created. It's not what you really were in the start when we probably took birth, right? But then it's acquired. We've learnt it from our parents and from our friends and families and from our teachers and from other experiences. And there are two very interesting teachers who keep taking us away into this place. And whilst I'm trying to understand who I am, really am this being who is all the wonderful things that you mentioned, that's the core, the silence that you've gone into. So I am that person. But then everything else in the world, that is the way it happens, is pushes you into that other space. Right? So when I'm here, I have all these experiences of happiness, peace, love, purity. Every experience of yours is there when you're in the core. You had all those experiences in that core. When I go to the office, I work, what am I trying to experience? Those same things. I'm trying to experience those wonderful qualities. I want to express them. In fact, the whole purpose of life is to express and experience these core qualities of ours. That's why we are actually here. So if my core quality is of love and compassion, I'm here to see how I can connect with everybody, I can be loving and compassionate, and I can experience that whilst I give it. When I give love to somebody, who's the first who experiences it? Absolutely. The more I give, the more I experience. The bigger I give, the better I give, the purer I give, the purer I feel and experience all these things. If I corrupt it and pollute it and condition it, I don't experience it. The other person also will understand that you're doing it because of a reason, of a purpose. So if I'm in the core, I'm able to do it in a very nice way. When I step in there, everything around somehow is made in a way that helps me to go into that space, becoming conscious of the body. What are you wearing today? How do you look? What's your age? What's your background? Where are you from? Which country? Which nationality? Which religion? All that is outside, external to us. But when I step into that external space, there is a lot of ups and downs, turmoil, confusion. And so you want to stay stable, you want to stay core, you want to be that great inner leader, you have to. There's no other way. If you want to be a great inner leader, you've got to start from this awareness of the core, of the eternal, and of the one that is real. When you're real, that's why lots of leadership people speak about authentic leadership. It's very important to be authentic in leadership. So authentic is what? Being real, being who you truly are, and then coming into the action, into expression. And so if you do that well, you're a wonderful leader. And so that's why when we look at these 6 original qualities of every human being, so you have those core qualities that you've written down. If you notice, all those core qualities will be related to these 6 original qualities of the soul. All those qualities that you've had, it could be courage, it could be cooperation, it could be sincerity, it could be truth. Everything is actually within these 6 core qualities out here. So, who am I really? What's my original nature? What's my true quality? I am peace. It is not I will become peace if that person stops irritating me in the office. I will become more peaceful if that person changes his department or if he does something to me, right? It's not conditional. It is I am peaceful. And this is what you experience. So it's something that we're speaking from experience that you have just now when you did those mandalas. I am peaceful. I am loveful. I am loveful, which means I know we are all loveful, and this is something we all accept, that we are loveful beings. Do we accept? All of us accept that we are loveful?
Yes.
Do you think other people in the world also are very loveful?
Yes.
All of them are loveful?
Yes.
Very much.
Sure, right?
Yes.
Good. That's nice. It's good to have that solid state of understanding that just not me, but others also have these same qualities. And it sometimes might be a little difficult, but that's perfectly okay. It could be difficult because of what you probably see externally, but the core of theirs is this. Maybe they don't know, they're not aware, and they're just acting out of their quiet selves. They're acting out of the self which is more temporary. Yeah, so we don't lose ourselves because somebody else has lost themselves. I stay connected. And then definitely, sooner or later, the others will also stay connected with whatever I am. Because people watch you. They say a great a great leader is the one who leads through example. Because people like to imitate, people like to mimic unconsciously. If they see somebody doing certain things, they will also start slowly but steadily following you. Wow, this person is so calm, so collected, so sorted, so strong inside. Wow, I should try to see how I can develop that quality. And so that's where we say, it's not about titles. Your manager could see you and say, wow, I really love this, such enthusiasm in this person. Wow, look at that energy the person's got. And so you're playing the role of a leader when you're expressing that. And so then people want to be like you. And so remember, they would start changing. May not be as fast as you want them to, but they will watch you and they will turn around. So that's leadership. Love is to give without expecting. To give without seeing who I'm giving it to. And it's not just giving physical. It is giving in all respects. I could give through the mind. So when we're all sitting in this room, what can I give to each other? So through the mind, I can give beautiful thoughts to each other. Through the words, mouth, I can give some nice, encouraging words, appreciative words. And through actions, I can help some people out. I can do some things for other people. So you can give at different levels. And all of us are made to do that, actually. So we are loving people, happy. We are happy. Because happiness is not the destination. It's the journey. We've heard that many times. But are we still postponing our happiness, waiting for something to happen? Let me wait. When this class is finished, I will be so happy. Yeah, sometimes we postpone happiness. Unfortunately, it's something which is given to you as a gift. Here is this beautiful gift for you. Okay, I will use it when I need it. Come on, use it right now. Instantly, you could actually just be happy right away. But then that condition again, right? I will be happy when I get the promotion. I will be happy when the project finishes. I will be happy when. Well, you can be happy when the project finishes, but why don't you want to be happy now as well? It's a choice. And so nice for you to realize that I have been learning some things which are not good for me. And so in meditation, many times you're unlearning those things. Because you don't have to do things to be happy. You don't have to achieve things to be happy. Because if you're keeping on postponing your happiness for something to happen, then you're not going to have the experience of it. You're not going to know how it feels. And it can be something that can come and go very soon. You complete the project, you feel excited. Wow! And then you're so nice, and suddenly the sponsor or the person who's your manager is not very appreciative, comes and sees certain things which are not going well there and tells you, well, this is not done well, this is not done well. What happens to your happiness then? It goes off. And so then an inner leader is a master. Yeah, we heard Sister Padma saying that, right? Do you want to be a slave or do you want to be the king, the emperor? So what happens to an emperor? And what happens to the slave? The emperor chooses, makes choices. This is how I like to feel right now. That's the emperor, right? So whatever you might do as the emperor, I am this way. But what about the slave? The slave means whatever you get me to do, get me to feel, I'll feel that way. I'm a slave to you. My feelings are dependent on how the environment is. My feelings and my qualities will depend on how you behave today. And so then you take the path of a slave. Now what the inner leader is trying to do is take the path of a master, of the emperor. And we use the word Swaraj Adhikari. So I'm the one who's the master. And so when I start from that mastery, can I bring that mastery to others? And so that's important for us to know that as a person who's happy, I'm in charge. And I'm not giving it off to anybody else. Truth. Yeah, so there's immense truth in each of us. The truth is that I am this being who is not this body, but I am this being who's peaceful, loving, happy. That is the truth. And we all know that truth. The idea is to start living that truth on a daily basis. The truth is that this body is temporary, right? How many times have you heard of it? From dust you come, to dust you shall go. You cannot own anything in this world. Everything is temporary. That is truth. And the soul inside, I all know that that's truth. What's the truth? The only thing you'll take with you are the good actions, your karmas, your sanskars. So develop good, beautiful sanskars, because that's what you're going to take with you. That's truth. We know it. How much do we live the truth? And so what does the inner leader do is becoming aware of the self. And then when you're aware of yourself, you then automatically do that path of truth. You automatically walk that path. If you're not aware, then you're trying to do everything else to enhance the temporary, and you forget what is the real. And so all your focus and energy is on the body and on the house and on the car and on how others think about me. And so you're always building this false image of yourself, or you're trying to create that external image which is not you. And so that's important for us to have it. Strength. I am strong. Yeah, all of us are strong. We are confident. We are courageous. So there is this immense strength inside. And you probably would notice that when there's an emergency, when there's suddenly something happens, how you kick into action all of a sudden, and everything, builds up, and we're able to do certain things. Right? It's just that we hold ourselves. I remember when I was in school, I used to be in school, and I used to love public speaking. How many of you love public speaking? Great. How many of you are afraid and scared of public speaking? Right. They say the number one fear in the world is supposed to be public speaking, And even death is okay. That comes second. But public speaking is the biggest fear that people have. So I loved it, but I had that fear. What's the fear? What do you think people fear when they're speaking in public? Failure. What if I come and I start and I forget?
Before that, butterfly moment.
Butterfly moments, right? How are the audience going to respond to me? And if I forget this, what will happen? So there are a lot of these unnecessary thoughts that come in that makes you feel weak. So standard 6, I want to go. Standard 7, I want to go. Standard 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, nothing. I just thought. Then I didn't do it because of that fear. But do you think I was a strong person?
Yes.
I was, but I just didn't use it. I didn't exercise it. When I went to college, the first thing I did is I said, it's perfectly okay to fail. It's perfectly okay to fail. And so I remember when I went for the first debate competition, I went up there, I took a sheet of paper which I was supposed to speak. I just put my eyes down and only read straight out of that copy. I didn't look up at anybody for 1 second also. I just read it, thank you, and I walked away. So I failed miserably, which is perfectly good because that's my first step towards learning it. And then from there on, obviously I started doing it. And I think in my third year in college, I was sent to Delhi to represent my university to one of those Indira Gandhi Open University competitions for debate. And so you had about lots of universities from India who had actually been having 2 people from each university there. So I felt that I didn't win there, of course, but it was a good thing to do, you were there. So there was this immense potential inside, but not explored. Because I did not allow myself to go in and really evoke the strength inside. But it was there always. And so each of us are very strong. We have this capacity inside, we got potential. Something holds us. So when I start becoming more soul conscious, and that's what happens as I go forward, I start realizing, if I'm scared of doing something, it means I'm actually more operating out of the temporary, what will people say? I'm worried about the external. I'm not going inside and starting from the inside out. I'm not being an internal leader. I'm trying to be the outside leader. But if I want to really do things which I feel I have potential for, there's opportunity, I have to draw strength. From where? I am a strong soul. I am a strong being. So when I start understanding that I am strong and I can do it, failing is okay, but I've done it. I'm not worried about other people. I think I have this potential, I like to do it. And so drawing from your strength is an important part. Then comes the last one, which is balance. So each of us have a very interesting balance within ourselves. We understand what is good from what is bad. Yeah, many times we say, I already know. The knowledge is not a big deal. Wisdom is this issue. I know a lot of things. In fact, in the world today, you don't have to worry about knowledge. Right? You can just ask questions and Google it out or do whatever you want, but you have knowledge at the fingertips. But the question is, am I able to do that? How much am I putting that into practice? That is wisdom. And so that balance of, okay, I know all these things, but then I'm able to apply that. And this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to take care of. And so when I draw myself inside and I start as the inside leader, I say, okay, this is all the knowledge that I have. That's just information for me. But what is important for me to do right now? And so I'm able to exercise, put that into practice. So these 6 core qualities are in every human soul. It's in you, it's in me, it's in everybody outside. And so when I sit down, I must understand this and realize it. Which you did in silence, in a very unconscious way. But now what you're doing is you're just trying to understand yourself better. And so when you go back wherever tomorrow, it doesn't take you too long to experience these. This is who you are. All it says, just go into a space which is free from everything around. Become aware of yourself as a person who is peaceful. I am peaceful. I am happy. I'm balanced. I'm truthful. I'm loveful. And when I look at somebody else in front of me, how do I look at you? Peaceful, loving, happy, balanced, powerful and strong. I need to see the vision in other people. Do you think we can do that? Yes. When you look at me, what do you look at me? It's the person standing here. How do you look at me?
Peaceful and powerful.
Wow. Oh, yeah, peaceful. Okay. So you see me as peaceful and powerful. Well, what else do you see? Great. You didn't see the shirt and all that, right? The shirt, the bald guy. Is that also what you saw? Yesterday you saw that. Today you're more aware. Wow. Good. So this is what it is. It's so important. That's why I said physically certain things are visible and it's perfectly fine. You can see that physical part. But it's important for us to train our minds to go beyond the physical and to see more of what the person truly is. This physical is temporary. Ups and downs and this and that. He could be wearing this today, tomorrow that. He could be rich today, tomorrow poor. He could have this vehicle tomorrow, he may not have that. He could have this house tomorrow, may not have that. He could have this title today in this company. Tomorrow he'll move out of the title, he'll move out of the company, he'll retire, she'll retire. Everything is temporary outside. Do you really want to have that as your identity of yourself and others? We are living in a false world then. We're living in a world that is just not real. So to start, I become real. Who am I? And I look at others in the same way. You have to train your eyes. Okay, so let's do a small experiment. Train your eyes, okay? We want to train your eyes to see and hold others in very high regard as beings of peace, love, and happiness. Can we do that? Training, okay? Training. So I want you all to do that. First of all, you have to, obviously, you don't start by looking at others. You start by, okay, I am first. You hold yourself. So first, I am. And then you want to look at everybody in the hall, including me, and you want to look at them as those lovely beings of peace and love, happiness, balance, and power. And it's good if you do that whilst you stand. So I'd like you to all stand up and move towards a little side where you can see at least 5-6 people around you. Move in a position where you can see at least 5 to 6 people around you, or 7-8 people, or 10 people. Yeah? So you got to move a little bit so that you can see everybody. No, lights are okay, please. Lights. Normal lights, white light. Oh, sorry. Okay, so look at each other, come on, and hold them in high vision. Hold yourself in this beautiful state of self-respect. I am a being of love. I am a being of peace. And I'm seeing somebody in front of me who's a being of love, a being of peace. Look in the center of their foreheads, between their eyes, because that's where the whole energy is coming from. The eyes are the windows of the soul. So through those eyes you can recognize the beautiful greatness of each person, the magnificence. So slowly you see somebody, you exchange a very pure vision, very good regard, and then you move to the next person. And you look at the next person and do that in a very nice, slow way. Something new for you, but it's going to really be supportive. A very nice way to see each other. So keep moving and seeing other people as well. You can turn around and look at another circle, look at another group of people, look at them with the same elevated vision. You're looking at great people around you. You're looking at wonderful people around you. You're looking at amazing, magnificent people. And that's the vision you hold. Okay, you may slowly move back to your place and have a seat. Okay. Some of you may be doing this for the very first time because we're not used to seeing people in this fashion. You know, we're quiet, we're silent, we're holding ourselves in this real high self-esteem. We're looking at others in that same way. Yeah, so for some it might have been a little bit difficult because for the first time. A little awkward, a little stepping out of your comfort zone for sure. But as you go past that awkwardness, there's beauty in it. There's real love in that. Because when you say love is unconditional, this is it. Because every other form of love is conditioned based on the body. I know this person, so I'm loving him. That was one of the identities. This person is looking very nice, so I love him. This person is very rich, so I love him. This person is very kind and nice, so I love him. But you're going beyond all of that and just seeing the soul, and you recognize that every soul is beautiful and kind and happy and beautiful, right? Nice. And so this is true love.
But this is a okay workshop. We are doing this exercise with the aware mind. But if you are in a public place, if you start guessing or looking at someone, opposite sex, you are going to get hit. Opposite, especially in a public place, if you start, maybe your heart is good and you are.
No, it doesn't mean you have to look at it.
So this is an experiment. Thank you for bringing that out. So we don't want you to go and stare at everybody as soon as you walk out. All right. It's not what we're trying to explain to you. What we're trying to help you understand is, if you didn't practice this now, when you go out, how will you see others? You look at the bodies the same way as you did before. But now if you go out and you see somebody, how would you look at them? You're not looking at anything else except that beautiful being. That's the awareness that we want you to create, that's all. With that awareness, you will change your attitude When you change the attitude, you will change the experience, and you will change the vision, and you'll change your world. It starts from that space of your awareness. Yes, that's what they say. Smriti, your Smriti. Jaisi Smriti, Vaisi Drishti. Jaisi Drishti, Vaisi Srishti. And so you change everything for you when you start from your awareness and your vision and the world. All right, so we'll take a pause here. How is everyone feeling? Okay, and so you're going to have that greatness held, and that's the way you're going to look at everyone. Is that okay?
Yes.
Good.